Yeah, good day, some people all over the world. Today we are in Ewu, Iduwele Ewu, to do a documentary on that wonderful village in Ewu Kingdom. You see, Iduwele might be a small village in Ewu, but it is little but mighty. It is a village that has produced very many political giants, religious giants, and what have you. It is a village that you cannot remove from the political history of Asa land. Now, when we talk of religion, Iduwele is the first village in the whole of Asa land that welcomed the assemblies of God's church. Beside that, it is the village that has the seminary of the assemblies of God. And mark you, pastors from very many different denominations are trained here in that Iduwele Assemblies of God Seminary. Beside that, you heard of the great pastor known all over the world, Pastor Chris Oyakilome. He is from this very village. So when you hear again of the Bender Feed and Flour Mill that is now known as what do you call it now? Prime Feed and Flour Mill. It is located here. And it is the only flour mill we have in the whole of Asa community. So what I'm trying to say is this village, though little, but it is mighty. So we are here today to take a little documentary of the origin, the governing system, the way they live, the origin and all that. So you'll be seeing very many different things here in this documentary, things you've never heard of, you've never heard about Asa land. They are all rooted here in Iduwele. So I'm sure by the time we are through with the documentary, you would have known that we went to a great village in Asa land, a great that many of you may not have known about. So this is what we are going to be doing today. And again, we are going to be having another great personality in Asa land. And this great person is person that the whole Asa land is proud of. He is the leader of Asa sons and daughters worldwide. I won't go beyond that because he is going to introduce himself at the time we get to that very position again. So you see, we are hosting a very wonderful people, a very wonderful place in Asa land. All the same, your host, Sunday Ahimari Inegbeduse, Eagle Studio, London, UK, is the one anchoring the program here today. So just relax and watch us as we show to you what is happening here in Iduwele community in Egu land. Thank you for being with us. Yes, sir, we are so happy to have you as one of our guests today because of this Iduwele documentary. Sir, we start by your introduction, sir.
My name is Chief Priest Francis Ubene, the House of Egu Kingdom, and doubled as the Chief Priest of the whole Egu Kingdom. I'm from Iduwele.
Sir, we want to start with the Iduwele, sir. Can we get a picture or a short history of how the name Iduwele came about, sir?
Our forefathers, the founders of the village, came from Emodu, and his name was Ugbejiri, with the brothers. So they were having problem with the Onuchi, or the king of Epoma. And originally, we were settled in the Emodu before. And when they start taking them as slaves, and under this, the forced labor and every other inhuman treatment, they decided to move out of Emadu to come and settle. First of all, they settled in Ile, Dumiakan Ile, and the people they were not friendly to, they moved towards this side. So when they come to this place, they meet an open land, very open, plain land, and they decide to settle here. and they now call it, because of the way and manner the land was, they now name it after Ugbegele, and they name it Idumugele.
Okay, oh, thank you very much, sir. The picture is very clear, sir. Yeah, sir, the Iduwele has different quarters, sir. I want to find out, sir, if there's a brief history of the quarters that made up this Iduwele, sir.
When they came, the man came with the wife. As they were leaving that place, they have not begetted any child. So when he comes into this place, he now begetted about 5 children, and they get 5 male children and 1 female. Among those ones was the original family, which I come from, a direct descendant of the Ugbejele. And my name is Unwo Ugbejele, followed by Unwenle, which is the first son of Ugbejele, followed by Ilongulu, followed by Ekago, followed by Ekago, that's where Akilome's family, followed by Idumebo. Those Idumebo, they were the brothers that followed him to this place. Those are quarters in Idumebo. And the last born of the man was Unwodu, which this boy come from. And they are the largest. They are the youngest, but they are the largest in the area. The other girl was married to somebody, a native doctor in Ihane. But my father didn't tell me the name of the native doctor he married to. And her name was Ihiala.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I want to find out the numbers of festivals that are observed here in Idumugele, sir.
1. At every planting season, before planting season, we commence by Ihupa. That will follow by Uro. After Uro, we now do the general prayer, where all the native doctors, all the priests across Egu, they will converge in my house here, and they consult Oracle how everything will go for the planting season, and towards this in around July or August, preferably or July, before 20th of every July. We now do that yearly, consult, appease the god. We now appease the major gods. That is Okiaran, the other one on the other side here, and Iguame, which they brought from this Nemodu originally as their deity. And when we finish that one, there are other warriors, heroes that fought the wars of Nupe and everything. They now institute them as gods too, like Wagbonohue and the Inyaoto. And at the end of the day, after harvest season, we now do the New Yam Festival, which is the Inwe. And that one concluded the whole festival of the year.
Sir, is intermarriage allowed within Idumugele? Yes, sir.
Yes, within the families. I can marry from their family. They can marry from their family. The only thing we doesn't do, you cannot marry from your own family. As I'm from Unwogbegi now, I cannot marry any Unwogbegi person because my sister. So no matter what, if somebody commits such a thing, it's an abomination. And the fine is a live goat. And the elders, they will kill it to appease the gods.
Sir, on the other way around again, there is no community without taboos. Do we have taboos here in Idumugele, sir?
Yeah. The taboos, like Iguame now, shrine, it does not allow us to touch shams. Especially when you mention people's names when you are preparing the sham. We call it ababi. And when you commit it, there's always repercussion. The highest you can go is 3 years. And you must confess to the chief priest and the community. And when you now confess, if the something have done so much havoc, either by taking somebody's life, they will find you. They will ask you to bring a he-goat, matured one. You bring cola. You bring alligator pepper, native chalk, snail. If it is so grievous, you bring tortoise. You bring 7 tubers of yam, 14 cups of corn, have native oil, and a native pomade. So the priest will now pray for you and cleanse you and warn you not to do it again. They don't do it second time. If you continue with it, the others will tell you, go and confess to our ancestors. We have helped you before, they can no longer help. So no matter how angry you are, how offended you are, you don't just rise up and say, I want to kill this person with either charms or juju and all those kind of things. The highest you can do, even if you want to do such a thing, you say you don't know who is your enemy. Don't mention anybody's name because no man knows his enemy. It's only God that knows who is a man's enemy.
Do we have other taboos after that one, sir?
The other taboos are like this bush dog. We don't eat. If you take akwananga, if you take akwananga, you'll be sick. Maybe if you don't confess, you may cut your nose, you may seize your this, and eventually you will just die. You will not be able to talk. We forbid that one. Those are the things we forbid especially. And we don't sleep with each other's wife, whether inter-family or any of that.
Sir, on a final note, I wanted to talk to Iduwele people outside, or both at home and in the diaspora, based on advice on the need to embrace our culture, our language and tradition anywhere they are, sir. But this time I want to use the sign language because people may not know you are Asian because if you're speaking Queen's English, but I think it is better now you address everyone using Asian language so that they know you are not even a foreigner, yes, sir.
Everybody, madele root transman. And madele root transman, a batie man, mada kisan, madale, a marekian ye, and I heard no hinari gauto. I'm not so a council. Those are the core values. So that you were more block area. And Aki Kugbe, Ako Wina Kugbe, Azilu Kugbe, Naret, me, Indian and Yen, Maki me, Bafi or Moto. All monos and Maki Bobo would walk your yes. In Isema, or Atali, Hoilwally, and Aki Kian, Emi, Caution on Sema. Ni Ibure Vada, your my culture, my most and Ubla. My time I was born that my condemn Christianity, my condemn Muslim. But all the Allah we are balling me. Honor who we are carrying before because all gods are jealous. Esan and did job abandon their gods. Eke ye koeli. Bleja mi eke koeli. Any atemo mali. Ade Rosini Zefo. Osibu. Before some black with Doka my ho. Oseno bu wall in your region. Big Malem is a mother go some through trees and every other thing. I can well run Ukimi corner. I say Nukimi Lua, that your dog bow. And actually covenant tree. What you're done in 200 years is still there for you. Like Odumania, I go worship it. We sang with Dana. I go on who I can well, Daba who not so Duma. Abi, even in the Bible. Rather, your Jesus Christ, power not so in an Ajabi, Odumana, actually Lion of Judah. Mawadi or Sunu, Monday, San, my bell, my dad, Sunu, a bomber kiga, or a ball, maga. Any those are symbol, not a worship, or you need the power, yeah. Sometimes the power, or you will not see that the priest who is ordained. Sometimes you are more money, Amy a car, or to work Dani, and that money me or done work ordinarily. Jaga jaga leke dana. Emi riwe dani. Oze anda mi ega mweki ole amweki. Rene dere wa mweki dio we ga waka mweki ona ki do. Ebure ron wa hon ya ki do mu ni ba shopping mall bi riwe ga wo ega ki da do. Olo da do what happen with this ewu. E marari secondary school. Ada ya na mweki si awa mi ga alu expansion. Mo si we hare ki na dollar to bia. Or she relo soto. Or ya va yo podo pa. Aki do do wood, aki yon ni ko yeti. Ya do na wood go e ka ken ki han. On our bowling na ja yo we gan aba yo podo pa. O little boy ye ku elu. Akunda ye do to be burning his zinc is what. So irio or Diavidana, this thing we have our God and they have a winner, the God and winner. The Bible Tama Bible you that fits all the religion. Our own what they were more faith sometimes I work for you. I they were no intercede for you strongly. You understand? You come and landed at Tama Bill in the Andy Romo Giri. You don't want about your soul or listen or some black carry or you pastor like they get a few bodon. I tell you, hurling the egg, I'm one of your country about near Tower, who are near Tower. Pastor Akiva, okay, here, Mona, or your neck bear, or you from any that place. You can't want no kind of wounded record be the more about the vehicle, a canal or no. They got me to a Kimujo. Women seniorly, I get a lolly. I mean, they are fillable, I get a fillable. A cack or dirty. You are more than more than. Ale I reckon with an akaluke. Honor you to a why you to give to Caesar what is Caesar and to God what is God.
Whoa. Over Tavana, eh? Or now, or dog barbecue. We do have ourselves for some doing it, but we buy it. We knock it out.
Uhi Miaki Benny, a goofy bakaluke, no yamuri, and the gazin ya. Abi, why near more was this azenkiane? Ebe azen do awori yo kama oya we boina van oya ke ba boina van oya ke kuran na van ene ma dia ma ko zilo pa ye na van so e body akin ola re address oli abi any problem of a bigger problem ready what to either why your address on the problem no other more solution tire no you size motor one more or then engine is visible so engine one more trailer or there can or about more so African powers must be respected in every form by Africans and be observed to the later.
So, what can be about one Tayana or you're in the Yogi family, a Bemuji pastor, any Biomo, a Yomoeli, in Yamaki, Sebutaise, you or Bulu Blue Akome, Mabusa Buya, Abulu Bulu. Yeah, brother, we are so happy that we are having you with us here at Ego Studio London today. It's a big pleasure because we know it is not always easy having you around. And please, may you give us a short introduction of yourself, sir?
Thank you very much. My name is Omojade Kelvin Edokpa. I am a farmer and I am also an investment broker. I am a realtor. I am a social cultural activist. I am somebody who love my culture. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you said you are a social cultural activist. I want to do also just a justice by throwing a little light into what you mean by that word, please.
Being a social cultural activist is out of the unusual things that you have to do to reignite the fire in your culture and tradition. What it means is literally not letting your culture go into extinction, projecting your culture, promoting your culture. These are things that social cultural activists do, for the love of the culture. What men will do and will always do for the love of the culture, to make sure their language don't go extinct, to make sure their tradition and their culture are not ridiculed by mere Western, ideologies. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for that short explanation. Yeah, you are from Iduwele Ewu here. I will want to find out from you the major occupation of the people here in Iduwele, your community.
Well, the major occupation is farming, and beyond that, we also have intellectuals who are from this Iduwele. Like you have mentioned earlier on, you will notice that a lot of people who have traveled far and wide and are known worldwide come from this place. Not only just Pastor Chris Oyahilome or the Oyahilome family, which are known for preaching the word of God, but there are also many families that come from Ewo, like the Duze family. The man who wrote Atlas came from Ewo. And there are so many other people that also came from this Ewo. Like, when we want to talk further, we'll delve into some other powerful traditional resource of Ewo in Eastern land.
Thank you very much for that. Now, let us talk about the traditional governance system of Iduwele in Ewu. I want you to give us a little picture of how the traditional government system of Iduwele is run. What are the procedures? What are the branches and all that? Please, we want to see one or two things about those areas.
Well, the Iduwele traditional system is that of hierarchy by age, and there are 4 aged men that would rule the community.
We call them what in Esaland?
Idionene.
Good.
It's synonymous with other communities in Esan. So it's not like it's only this system only works in Ewu or Iduwele community. As it were, there were many communities, for instance, that were part of Ewu that we had a large number of community. But later, because of aggression from the north and so many other things, which we can also talk about later, the communities reduced. But the leadership of this community remained as it were until date. That the Idionene has the power to rule on matters in the Ikowe. You understand? So, Ikowe is where is the Kolo. They call it Ikowe, where the entire village meets and talk about matters concerning individuals and the community, including strangers living in the community. And the same goes to other age group which are in the community. From the Igene to Igene is the next age group that is closer to the Edion. After the Igene, you have the Igbonuge. Igbonuge is of three class. You have the Otunodion, Unkpajeva, and Otunigwegwe. So that is how the community is being run. And when the community want to send able-bodied men to either go and clear the farm road or maintain any bad spot in the community, in fact, they even go as far as mending bad roads and all of that. They can send either the Igbonuge or the Igene. At some point, they do a joint force where they send both the Igbonuge and the Igene.
So, yeah, you mentioned something about the Oijonin, meaning the 4th most eldest people in the community. Now, there's one thing I really want to ask here. In some community, if the eldest person is too old to attend direct meeting concerning the community, sometimes we have what we call ukodion. Do we have such a practice here in Idumogele?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you just spoke my mind. The the ukodionship in not just Iduwele has, brought almost anarchy to our land and our tradition. You know, I will be very factual because I am a very traditional person and I do a lot to promote our culture every day. And what I notice about the process that people attain Ukodion has become an issue. Excuse me. Particularly because now people use the Ukodion position to amass wealth and juicy benefit to themselves in detriment to our culture and tradition. Why am I saying this? Because if it's not looked into, it's something that will dwindle our tradition. It will ruin our tradition gradually. You see, those Edionine that I talked about, they are always the four oldest men in the community. So, when at that age, they cannot always come to Ikolo. They have to appoint somebody. And that is Ukodion. Now, what people do is even lobby to be Ukodion. Because when they are doing burial, anything or any celebration, the Ukodion and the Edion will have a part of the share of the cow that will be used for burial for the Iduwele, for instance. And there are other juicy things like land reposition, possession, and so many other things that goes down that are not good for our tradition, I must say. Like giving false judgment because of bribe. You are literally ruining our tradition. It is not good. It is something we should desist from. I'm sure the spirit of our ancestors are not happy that people are living like that. All because of meat, because of money, and undue influence, unreasonable influence, unneeded influence. So it's something we should talk about. Let's always talk about it. It doesn't happen in only one community. It happens around the communities in Islam because I talk to people. I go around and I do a lot when it comes to trying to push those things out that we know need urgent attention. And the Ukodionship is one of them. Just like we have the Islam language, which is paramount, which is number one. But the Ukodionship is one of them. It's something we have to watch carefully because if we don't, it's going to really affect our tradition negatively. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, we want to find out the number of quarters we have here in Iduwele and a little explanation about their historical background. Please, can you give us a little, sir?
Yeah, sure. Iduwele has, I would say few quarters. But his ancestral home is Iduwele because Eko is from Iduwele. There is a man named Alende. He is from Uwe Udu in Iduwele. this man was very industrious. He went with his family to set up Eko Ewu, another community entirely, which is part of Iduwele. And you see, there is also Ukpekegbo. Ukpekegbo. In the history of Ewu and Iduwele, there was a time one of the king went to stay a short stay in Ukpekegbo, which is also close to Eko Ewu. It's another small community that is part of Iduwele. They attend the Kolo in Iduwele. And there is also another community that is called Ukpeki Duze, owned by that same Duze lineage I talked about, who wrote the Atlas, the geographical regional book, Atlas. So, those are the three sub-communities and camps that are from this Iduwele.
I think that was something like Ihemudumu. Is that from this place too?
No, not Ihumudumu.
No,
there are other communities in Ewu.
Okay.
Iduwele is one community in Ewu.
Okay.
There are several communities in Ewu.
Okay, thank you.
And as I speak with you here today now, there was a community in Ewu which is now in Edo North, which is now part of Edo North.
Can you get the picture?
Pardon?
The picture of the community?
No, you see, after Ukpekegbo is a community in Ewu. Ukpekegbo is where the war took place. The war that other Esan communities came to Ewu to fight with Ewu people side by side against the Usman Dan Fodio movement to Islamize Esan and its environs all the way to Benin. But it stopped here in Ewu, in that community called Ukpekegbo. They didn't exceed that community because they were victorious, the Esan people. They fought against Islamizing our people. Do you see mosque rampantly in Esan? Have you seen mosque rampantly in Esan? No.
No, only in Iroa.
That's a story for another day. There is a reason why there is a mosque. The Onoji of Ira, the seat of the Onoji of Ira is a Muslim. There's a reason for that. We can't see everything today.
Okay,
and the relationship with the Onoji of Ira and the seat of Onoji of Ewu is the reason why the Onoji of Ira and the Onoji of Ewu throne are the only two Muslims out of the 35 lineages in Esan land. We must talk about our history. We must let the people know who we are. You see, Orthodox medicine started like yesterday. But this Ewu was where the real mercy, the Orthodox medicine, generated from. These are rare facts that you cannot get. You know, there's a place called monastery, the Ewu monastery, where they made medicines. You see that environs, that was where the war was fought. So you see Agbede, for instance, Auchi are merely Muslims. So it's just, it's a history. If you don't know your history, then you are lost. You don't know where you're heading to. It's a journey.
So correct, yeah.
It's a journey that you must, be wary of. So if they rewrite Esan history, they rewrite. However, but the actual Esan history is passed from generation to generation. I am the third descendant of Edokpa Yiyi Nosolokbo family. So I know where I'm coming from.
Don't doubt about that. You are a true son of your father.
Yeah. So I want people to also always ask questions. Why you have the opportunity to ask questions. Ask questions, because some of these people that are on the face of this earth are not going to be there forever, that knows things about our culture and tradition that we don't know. So, for instance, Iduwele is a very powerful community in this Ewu kingdom. Very powerful. And why did I say so? We have produced calibers. I mean, we had governors come from Iduwele here.
Like who?
The former governor of Rivers State, Fideli Soyakholobe, is my uncle. So many rear admirals, generals from this small community. Sesi is related to Echo from the mother side. But Sesi ordinarily is from Agua Ira. You see, so I mean, we need to preserve our culture. Let's talk about it more often. Because if we don't, people won't have the opportunity to know the truth. Because I want to believe that, all the time we are not being told the truth. Unless you do your research before you can know. So things that we dwindle our language, things that we, bring issues to our tradition, let's also always keep the sanctity. That is what Esan people are known for bravery, being the best. Esan comes first before any other person when it comes to bravery. That's why you see some people will not want to accept that fact. But where any Esan persons come in contact with you, either in their workplace, in the business place, whatever it is, they are always brave. They are winners. They are breadwinners. They never, go for less. So I want that same sense of belonging. We should apply it to our daily lives. Knowing that we are coming from somewhere as Esan people. Now we are no longer talking about Iduwele. We're talking to the entire Esan people. Like I said, I'm a social cultural activist and the vice president of Esan Sons and Daughters. I see a lot, I hear a lot concerning Esan people. People send me messages. People call me at the middle of the night, 3 a.m., 1 a.m., from all parts of the world. We talk about our culture, how to revive it, how to make it unique, how to make it something that will be easy for people to identify with, because Esan has been stigmatized for too long. We need to revive, we need to bring out the vibe in Esan. You cannot come in contact with an Esan person or Esan people and not reckon with the fact that Esan people are great people, very intelligent. So this is what I have to say for now, but there's a lot to say. I just guess we don't have the time. Thank you.
Wow, that's beautiful. We are so great, so proud having you around here with us, and we know you have a lot to tell the Asian people. Though, just like you rightly said before, we may not have the time to pour out everything, and again, we are trying to target a particular thing for now. I think whatever we are going to discuss about this again will be a story for another day. So we are so great, we are so proud, and we are so happy having you with us today here on Ego Studio on the documentary of Iduwele community in Ewu Kingdom. Thank you very much. We are so happy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay.